sure. I was back in 1990 as a senior. For those guys that are seniors that don't get a lot of run, it's going to be about a good 2 minutes of hard pace and hard breathing.
Deacs with the basketball and Wilbekin. Britton Anderson, who wears number 52, is a walk-on, has never scored a point in his career. Maybe he gets a chance, although Wilbekin fires away. Fight for the loose ball, and won by Notre Dame. Up ahead of the field, knocked away out of bounds, and to Wake Forest, as Mooney couldn't get it up on the square.
Well, Notre Dame's going to try to push the pace a little bit. You see Farrell trying to get the ball up to Mooney. Great defense from the seniors being able to get back. And again, for those seniors that normally don't play, this is something that's memorable to them because they're going to give their all while they're out there on the floor.
Reich for three. Rebound, Anderson had to take it away. So Troy Reich, number 45, got a shot attempt away. He's now 2 for 6 from the floor on the season. He does have 10 career points for the senior from San Francisco, California. This is Matt Farrell. Been so solid from long distance. A misfire from Farrell in the early going. Anderson regathers. For the Demon Deacs coming off a victory on Wednesday. The drive by Anderson, and he's going to the free throw line where he has a chance to get his first career points at the line.
Well, if you see Anderson, he's able to split that double team. Nifty move trying to get to the basket. Love the fact that has not gotten caught up in the moment where some guys shy away from it. They want to make sure that they don't do anything to embarrass themselves, but love the fact that Anderson came out and attacked the basket.
Point number 1 for Britton Anderson's career for the senior guard, 6'4", from Great Falls, Virginia. Makes his first 2 free throw attempts of the season. Picked a good day to do it, and now the substitutions and the salute to the Wake Forest seniors.
Great show of appreciation from the Wake Forest fans. And this is a special time because a guy like Anderson's going to look back and say, hey, remember on senior day, I had 2 points, knocked him down. I was 2 for 2, perfect. Coach, why'd you take me out?
What an awesome moment for those young men. Of course, we'll have one more regular season game at Georgia Tech next Saturday for Wake, and then it's on to Brooklyn. Notre Dame is 16-12 on the season, 6-9 in conference play. That was blocked as Sarr got a piece of it. Attempted drive from Gibbs. The baseline jumper from Moore came up short and saved. Childress for 3.
Second chance opportunities. Being able to get Childress lined up for that 3-point shot. And it's always the deadliest time when you get a second chance opportunity to get that 3.
38% from beyond the arc for the season for Childress. His 35th made 3 of the year. Mooney. Crawford pulls it down. Notre Dame has missed its first 4 shot attempts. Sarr ran into a roadblock and a reset for Wake Forest. Demon Deacs had a win on Wednesday at Pittsburgh, 63-57. Their first ACC road win of the season. Shot clock is down to 5. Straight away, front rim for Sarr.
Well, if you're Notre Dame, you're going to pay a lot more attention to those guards. You'll give Sarr that 3-point shot because you want to make sure that Childress, Crawford, and all those 3-point shooters from Wake don't get going early.
Well, Sarr's only made 6 threes on the season, up and under, and now he's committed the foul as TJ Gibbs was driving.
One of the things that Notre Dame is going to do, they're going to space you out and they're going to do a lot of motion to try to make sure the ball doesn't stick. Great penetration by Gibbs to be able to go and address getting to the basket. And when you're going up against shot blockers, you definitely want to be able to use the rim to shake that shot blocker off.
Gibbs on the season, you see close to 16 points per game for the sophomore from Scotch Plains, New Jersey. 83% from the line for Gibbs.
Talking to Mike Bray yesterday, and obviously TJ Gibbs was a guy they expected to get heavy minutes, but he's been one of those guys that has stepped up with the absence of Colson. Off season losing 17 pounds. He's come back, has been lighter, quicker, and he's definitely made the jump. Probably one of the most improved players in this league.
Now Notre Dame losing Bonzie Colson in late December. Did play one conference game against Georgia Tech, but has been out with that left foot injury. Moore backing down. Hustle for the loose ball. Pfluger tried to save it. That'll be off of Notre Dame and remain with Wake Forest. Bonzie Colson, the senior from New Bedford, Massachusetts. Bonzie in the warm-up and uniform, but not available today. They are hoping potentially, Brian, he can play a little bit on Wednesday in the home game against Pittsburgh. It is senior night, so Mike Bray said he will see the court, whether it's for 10 seconds or 10 minutes. We don't know quite yet.
Well, that's one of the things, too. If you ask Bonzie, he's going to say, hey, I should have played a couple of games ago. But you want to be careful with a guy like that, especially he hadn't played in 8 weeks. And you want to just be careful to make sure that he doesn't have any other issues by rushing him back.
Pfluger had to send it back out to Gibbs. Gibbs with the three. Shawnee Brown brings it up for Wake Forest.
Wake Forest doing a really good job of being able to limit Notre Dame to a one and done. The keys for them to win this game is to be able to control the boards and make sure that they limit the second chance possibilities for Notre Dame.
Miss on the runner from Childress and a foul against Wake. The foul is on Sarr, his second. We'll take a timeout for a moment. Broadcasting all 14 games, including the championship game on Saturday night. So be sure to mark it on your calendar as we march towards Brooklyn, New York, and get in a New York state of mind for the second straight year for the tournament, Brian.
Well, one of the things, too, is that outside of Virginia, no one's dominated really that much. And then we talked earlier about there's a log jam of teams out there. So when you get to Brooklyn, it's anyone's tournament.
The last 6 years, we've had a different champion at the ACC tournament. That includes 2015 in this Notre Dame program, where they beat both Duke in the semis and North Carolina in the title game in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Well, one of the things that a lot of people are asking is how available will Bonzie Colson be for Notre Dame going into the tournament, and what will he be able to add to them?
As we told you, Coach Bray is hoping to get Colson back for Wednesday against Pittsburgh at home. That one knocked around in the lane. Childress, the outlet. Brown able to save it. Little stutter step and the feed and the foul. The incredible career of Bonzie Colson. Unfortunately, hasn't seen the court since late December.
Well, and talking to Mike Bray, too, obviously you see 21 and 10. I think that no one's expecting him to come back and produce those numbers, but I think that just him coming back and what he'll mean to that team as far as his presence means an awful lot, because let's not forget this is one of the top teams in the preseason with him. They had some really good wins, and so you bring him back, obviously that adds another dimension to this team.
32 career double-doubles for Bonzie Colson. Nick Jogo is into the game for Notre Dame. This is Farrell. Got the shot away and Farrell hits.
And that's one of the things that I think Matt Farrell has done a good job of, is being able to add that little mid-range game, because you knew about him being a guy that could break down and create his own shot and get to the rim and knock down threes. Love the fact that he's able to implement that mid-range game. He's had to be more offensive-minded with the absence of Colson.
Many different elements of the Farrell offensive display. Mitchell hits a three at the other end for Wake Forest.
And how about Wake being able to not only do a good job on one end, but Wake has actually done a good job of being able to move the ball, get their guys shots. And you see right now, being able to not settle, go east and west. And how about that ball movement, get it over to Wilbekin, be able to knock down that shot.
Donovan Mitchell shoots 44% from beyond the arc of the season for the sophomore from Clovis, California. Wake has a 5-point lead. Wilbekin extending the range. Thompson on the glass. Notre Dame lost on Monday at home against Miami 77-74. Although they shot 53% as a team from the floor. Farrell on the drive, and he gets fouled, and going to the free throw line is Matt Farrell.
It's always good when you get late until the shot clock to be able to have a guy, and you see Farrell be able to recognize turning the corner and then absorbing the contact. And again, that's one of the things that I think that he has had more of a presence in trying to do, is be a playmaker, but also understand when does he have to attack, set up his teammates, and try to get his own shot.
Now in for the defense, number 4, De'Ral Moore.
De'Ral Moore is back into the lineup for Wake Forest. Don't forget Thursday, more action on the ACC network. Virginia, Louisville, NC State, Georgia Tech. One of those two games available to you on Thursday. Matt Farrell, 78% from the stripe. You know, Farrell's missed a little bit of time with some ankle injuries as well. He missed games against Virginia Tech and Duke with an ankle bruise, and then had to miss games against Syracuse, Georgia Tech, and North Carolina. But appears to be back to full strength and leading the way. The senior from Bridgewater, New Jersey, for the Irish. Turnaround from Crawford. Moore goes high for the rebound, had it poked away by Jogo. And then a foul was called against Notre Dame.
Well, you see the length of De'Ral Moore on display. Geben didn't have any choice because he was basically in no man's land down there in a danger zone, because, again, Moore gets the ball down there, and talk about that high percentage when he gets it around the basket.
First foul on Martinas Geben. They were looking for the alley-oop some more, but there was a foul prior to that against Wake.
And that's one of the things you have to be on the lookout for. You see the back screen from Mitchell. Calling the offensive foul. How about how high Moore was up for that dunk?
Danny Manning is the fourth-year head coach of the Deacs. Watching Farrell pump a three for the Irish.
Well, that's one of the things that Notre Dame will do. They'll run that double screen up there from Matt Farrell. Most big guys were showing the first one. That last time, Farrell being able to set his feet. He's a guy that you definitely have to show out there and not allow him to get going. He
has scored the last 7 points for Notre Dame. Crawford comes out of the corner. One dribble and the jumper. Brian Crawford.
Brian Crawford is a guy, too, that you have to be able to not let him go. He will shoot that three. Love the pickup that he didn't settle for getting to the basket, knocking down that early shot.
By the way, Farrell now 16 straight games with a three-pointer, and 46 of his last 47 games connecting on a three as the Irish throw it in the front row. Fighting Irish, doing it on many different levels so far this afternoon, Brian.
And Tom, he's been instant offense earlier on for Notre Dame. Talked about the fact that he can go inside, outside. He's one of those guys that can heat up fast. Already off to a good start, 7 points. And if you're the Irish, you still create opportunities for him. But if you're the Demon Deacons, you want to make sure that you get somebody out there, force him to his offhand. Obviously, a guy that shoots the ball as well as he does, you want to get somebody out on him quick.
Woods, with that basket, has now gone over 1,000 points for his career. He only needed 1. And Matt Farrell only needs 9 points, as you saw in that recent graphic, to get to 1,000 in his Irish career. So a milestone day for Keyshawn Woods and potentially for Matt Farrell. Jogo from the corner. Wilbekin digs it out. Moore trying to fill that lane. At the other end, Torres back to Farrell. May have been deflected by Crawford, who gets whistled for a foul on the Farrell shot attempt. First on Crawford.
Well, you see De'Ral Moore in what looks like was going to be a posterizing dunk.
Elijah Burns coming out of nowhere.
Oh, Burns going up high, being able to deny the big man.
You don't see that very often. When De'Ral Moore wants to dunk, he dunks. Over half his field goal attempts this year have been dunks, field goal makes.
Well, great athletic play by Burns. That last play before, when you saw actually Notre Dame being able to get the ball into Farrell's hand and the penetration, and him getting fouled also.
Pfluger's back into the lineup. Pfluger yet to score or take a shot, with Farrell at the free throw line, getting 3 chances at the line. And now 10 points for Matt Farrell. 21st time this season, Brian, he has gotten to double figures, and he's done it quickly. We've got 11 minutes to go in our first half.
Well, you see Notre Dame being able to switch up their defense a little bit. Mike Bray said that he'll go from man to some zone, and it's not so much to try to get the steal, but it's also to give his guys a little time to be able to rest because of those short numbers on the bench.
Farrell, short with the three. That scored the last 10 points in a row for Notre Dame, and a foul was called as Wilbekin hit the deck. First or second foul now on Torres.
Wake Forest doing a really good job of being able to limit second chance opportunities for Notre Dame.
So Torres is out. Geben comes in. Geben, the senior from Lithuania, played his prep ball at St. Maria Goretti in Maryland. Wake by one. Moore able to scoop it up and get fouled.
Foul on number 13, Nicola Jogo. His first 15
First on Jogo.
Brown Moore at the line with 2 shots.
You talk about the length of Moore. Last time Brown had great penetration, but a lot of times for big guys like that, they want the ball up top.
Our coverage of ACC basketball being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome the nearly 1 million men and women of the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines stationed around the globe in 175 countries and on the high seas. You with us, and hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Moore just 43% from the stripe on the season for the junior from Atlanta, Georgia, and Montverde Academy in Florida. Geben backing in, does not get the bounce. Tried to follow, Moore grabbed it in the outlet. 3 on 2. Driving Brown, tipped by Moore, taken by Farrell. Stolen back Wilbekin. 3 on 1. Childress, he'll lay it in.
Those are the opportunities that Wake Forest wants with those quick guards out there. Wilbekin being able to get that steal. And that's where Wake Forest is going to thrive, at being able to get those turnovers and get out for easier baskets.
5 points now for Childress. Backing in, Geben. Touch on that one.
Good back down by Geben. That's where I think that he's going to be able to take an advantage, to be able to put a body on Moore and try to negate his length. Nice little jump hook.
First field goal in the last 3 minutes for Notre Dame. And Shawnee Brown comes right back.
Shawnee Brown is that athletic guy that you get in the middle right there. Does a really good job of being able to separate, get the separation, put a little mini jump shot.
This is the 8th all-time meeting between the programs. Notre Dame has won the last 4 meetings. Follow slam. Geben getting up and throwing it down for the Irish.
Good follow by Geben. Moore had to go over on the penetration, didn't leave anybody over there. Geben just followed it up with a nice slam.
4 points for Geben in the first half. Childress the misfire on the 3-point attempt. Teams played once last season. It was at Notre Dame. 88-81 the victory for the Irish. Shot clock is at 7 for a driving Pfluger. He'll be going to the free throw line as Crawford tried to defend. Second on Crawford.
One of the things that Wake wants to do is create offense off their defense, get out and get some easier baskets.
Dominated recently by Notre Dame, working on a 4-game winning streak against Wake Forest. That includes a win in February of 2016 here at Joel Coliseum by Notre Dame, 69-58. First point of the game for Pfluger.
One of the things that I like about Wake Forest is that they've been able to get some turnovers and out of transition. You see Pfluger with a foul on Childress. And again, we talked earlier about this extended zone from Notre Dame, more designed to give these guys some time to rest a little bit. You see Childress and you see Pfluger with the reach in there. Matt Farrell back into the game. Mike Bray opting to bring him back in. Small time rest.
Farrell's got 10 points. He's the only player in our game so far to get the double digits, with Wake by 1. Woods will turn around and fire.
Woods and Brown have done a good job of being able to get into the middle of that zone. Get the ball in there with a guy that's looking to score. Definitely puts a lot of pressure on the Notre Dame defense.
Geben backing in. Tough to stop.
Geben has proven that he's a guy that you can give the ball to, and he's very patient. Allows himself to be able to use that body. A nice little jump hook over that left shoulder.
6 points now for Geben, who had 19 on Monday in the loss against Miami at home. He went 7 of 11 from the floor, and 7 rebounds for Geben. Sean D. Brown. 4 players fight for that board as Farrell tipped it over to his teammate Elijah Burns. Gibbs, tough drive. Doesn't get the roll, but going to the free throw line. Here's our lending tree fast analysis. And the bench big for Danny Manning so far today, Brian.
Well, and they've got guys that can score the ball. And then obviously that's a little distorted because obviously you see the seniors that start and guys coming in off the bench. But that's one of the things that Danny Manning has been able to use as an advantage in his first half. Getting those guys in, talking about being able to get the easier baskets off the transition points. They've done a really good job of being able to not settle for threes against the Notre Dame zone.
Gibbs at the line for the Irish. And Notre Dame has the lead. It is their first of the afternoon. After the Gibbs free throw, 24-23. Just over 6.5 minutes to go in our first half. Tom Wormy along with Brian Oliver. Former standout at Georgia Tech. Played in the Final Four in 1990. All-conference performer. How about Childress letting it fly from three-point distance and ripping the ropes 8 points.
Well, one of the things that with Wake Forest getting the ball inside a lot, it forces Notre Dame to have to collapse. That last time, doing a good job being able to get out to Brandon Childress, collapsing, them not being able to get down and knocking him knocking the three down.
So Wake seizes the lead right back from Notre Dame. Jogo, power move and scoop. Follow Geben, and he is rocking the stanchion. Trying to rip that rim off its hinges there, Brian Oliver.
Jogo reminds me of a poor man's Mono Ginobili and how he gets there. And Geben is a guy that kind of follows the ball. The second time we've seen him, you'll be able to have that putback monster slam.
This is Mitchell. That's a three. Both sides of the rim. Moore able to tap that one out of bounds on the attempted entry to Geben.
We always tell big guys when you follow the ball and you see the move by Jogo, but Geben being able to realize that with Moore committing to Jogo, then there's no one that boxing them out.
Gibbs trying to get by Wilbekin. Gibbs off to Mooney. Childress for Wake. Sophomore from right here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. His father Randolph, one of the assistants for Danny Manning. Shot clock is at 10. Woods, sweet spot.
And Tom Woods has been just basically hovering around that area, going from one post to the other. I think that the Notre Dame bigs are more worried about De'Ron Moore, making sure that he doesn't get a lob. Woods has been doing a phenomenal job of being able to get the ball right there in that sweet spot and knock down those little jumpers.
6 points for Woods, the redshirt junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. And Geben is slamming again.
Well, and that play was set up. You have to honor Matt Farrell when he's got him coming off. That last time he curled. 2 guys from Wake committing, and that leaves Geben up for the slam.
Tied at 28. turnaround. Woods.
And the thing is it seems like Geben is not playing defense, but he and and the other big down low have to do a better job of being able to communicate. Moody is worried about Woods, and then he's not getting there to stop that jump shot.
Woods is now 4 for 5 from the floor. Farrell kicks it out. Gibbs. Jogo flying over the top. It's a foul against Notre Dame. So let's take a look at our Jimmy John's freaky fast player.
And Martinas Geben has been the guy that has been dominant on the inside, being able to score in a number of ways, most definitely with the putback dunks. He has been fiery in this first half. He has given Notre Dame that low press, that low post presence you see right now. 10 points, 5 rebounds. And he's been the guy for them that has put an awful lot of pressure on Darrell Moore, because a lot of times Moore has to go and commit to someone else, and he's done a fabulous job of the putback dunks.
And with those 10 points for Geben, it is now 6 straight games for him with double-figure scoring and shooting up around 70% over that stretch. Here's Moore at the free throw line. Great chat with Mike Bray prior to the game. Thinks his team certainly has that outside shot to impress the committee. Maybe make it to the NCAA tournament, but it does start right here for Bray and the Irish.
Well, if you look at the remaining games, obviously they've got the Wade game, and then they go home for senior night against Pitt, and then they finish the regular season at UVA. So I think that it's important for them to win 2 of these last 3, and they've got to get at least 1, possibly 2, in the ACC tournament.
Notre Dame with the basketball and trailing by 4 inside. 3.5 minutes to go in our first half. From Winston-Salem, North Carolina on the ACC Network and Raycom Sports. Gibbs puts on the brakes and hits.
Gibbs is that guy that has improved his offense. Last year, he was a guy that could put the ball on the floor, but Mike Bray saying that he's put a little bit more in his hands, giving him opportunity to be able to make his and create his own shot.
Averages close to 16 points per game this season for Coach Bray, and shooting 42% from the floor for TJ Gibbs. That's a 2-pointer. Shawnee Brown.
Good offensive set by Wake Forest. You had a screen on the ball, and then it allowed Shawnee Brown to come out. Defense didn't recover, allowed him to be able to get behind and knock down that 3-point shot.
6 points now for Shawnee Brown. In a congested area for Gibbs off the back iron. Childress directs a little traffic for Wake Forest. Woods tees up the 3. Jogo the board for Notre Dame.
Tom Wake has done a better job in the second part of this first half of being able to get another defender out at Matt Farrell. He's not getting those easy looks that he got earlier in the ball game.
Farrell defended by Childress. Shot clock at 10 for Notre Dame. Childress impedes Farrell's progress again and tries to get around the screen. Farrell the difficult 3. Jogo comes flying in for a fresh shot clock, and Childress may have reached in. Coming up on the Hardy's Halftime Report, we'll preview an exciting new show from Raycom Sports, the Heroes of the North Atlantic Coast region. All that plus highlights and stats on the Hardy's Halftime Report. One final to pass along: Louisville wins in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech 75-68 earlier today. Quentin Snyder led the way with 22 points and 7 made threes.
Well, Louisville has been one of those teams that they definitely have proven that they could win this whole thing. But then again, you know, you talk about the up and down. We talk about there are so many teams right there when you get past Virginia that can win it, because, again, you've got the Louisvilles, you've got Clemson, you've got NC State. Don't forget the Dukes and the Carolinas. That's what makes this whole thing with the ACC tournament so fun, because anyone can win, and just a matter of catching fire at the right time.
And now both Virginia Tech and Louisville, after the result this afternoon from Blacksburg, both 9 and 7 in conference play. Moore trying to back it on in and uses the square effectively. The foul on Geben. Chance at the 3-point play for Moore.
Well, they haven't. Wake Forest has not been able to establish Moore because of that zone. But now you give the big fella an opportunity to get down there. We talk about his length, and he's really, really long. Good at being able to finish. Love the length. Absorb the contact for the and one.
First made field goal of the game for Darrell Moore on 4 chances as he goes to the stripe for the old school 3-point play. Farrell. Little crossover. Good passing by the Irish, and it results in an easy bucket for Burns, his first 2 points.
Well, that started with the breakdown by Farrell, being able to get it out to Gibbs, and Gibbs not selling, being able to penetrate, force the defense to get there. Nice little dump off to Burns. That's offense, and one of the things that Mike Bray says, he wants his team to be able to keep the ball moving, not let it die in one place.
Wake by 2. Out of that corner is Brown. Twisting shot.
And Shawnee Brown is that guy that's got an amazing skill set. A guy that can knock down the 3, can put the ball on the floor. He's got that wide build, can absorb the contact. That last chance, being able to get a little separation for that finish.
8 points now for Shawnee Brown, right on his average for the season. Keep an eye on that clock now. 21 seconds to go. Farrell drops it off. Geben was denied the first shot as he attempted to jam, but follows up and makes it. And Shawnee Brown was the one who denied Geben initially, but he stayed with it, and now 12 points. Martinas Geben. And a timeout on the court taken by Wake Forest.
Well, I like the fact that there was a set play for Matt Farrell. You see the curl right here. Farrell gets in, draws more, and then how about the recover from Brown? Geben not giving up on the play, being able to still get that putback. Farrell puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Geben doing a good job of reading it.
Now time for our First Citizens Bank Forever first moment. March 14th, 2015. Notre Dame beating North Carolina 90-82 in the title game of the tournament to win their first ACC basketball tournament championship. The Irish cutting down the nets in Greensboro. What a moment for Mike Bray. When I was talking to him before the game, Brian, he was still beaming about that particular moment back in 2015. And why not beating Duke in the semis, North Carolina in the finals in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Well, and to add to that also, he talked about playing in Brooklyn and the fact that he's got a veteran ball club and that they kind of feel like Brooklyn is like a home away from home from them. As you see Wilbekin knocking down the contested 3.
Final seconds, the heave from Gibbs. And Wake made 6 of their last 7 shots to take the halftime lead, 41-36 for Danny Manning. Halftime from Winston-Salem, North Carolina is straight ahead on the ACC Network. Beating the Eagles twice this season. Once in Chestnut Hill, once in South Bend, Notre Dame, Indiana. Shawnee Brown takes it right to Geben. Foul against the Irish.
Well, Matt Farrell, see, he started off in the first half, see 10 points, only 2 for 5, 1 for 4 for 3. I think that Wake did a better job of being able to show on the pick and roll. Earlier, the big was not showing enough and allowed him to be able to turn the corner. They did a better job of being able to get that other defender there and force the ball out of his hands. And I think that's one of the things to see, can Matt Farrell get rolling? Towards the end of the first half, I think they did other opportunities being able to get him off of those smaller pick and rolls.
Brown at the line for Wake Forest. Farrell needs 6 points to get to 1,000. Wake Forest led by 5 at halftime. Opening moment, second half. Gibbs, he hits a 3 for the Irish.
Well, Tom, we just talked about the fact with Matt Farrell, they've got a big showing. And then if your defense is focusing more on him, Farrell realizing that he's got TJ Gibbs wide open over there, that definitely, if the other players can knock down shots, will give him opportunities as well.
Moore trying to get free behind the defense, and Pfluger recovered but may have committed the foul for Notre Dame. Moore is going to the free throw line.
Well, one of the things you definitely have to try to establish your big guy, and you see Crawford realizing that you've got Moore down there, Pfluger not wanting to give him an easy dunk. And a lot of times you make that pass, you don't want your big guy to have to come down with it. If you're Crawford, throw it up around the rim. That's one of the reasons why Moore has done so well at being able to finish. If you put the ball up by the rim, he'll finish it quicker.
And now 4 of 6 in the game from the free throw line, Darrell Moore. Just 43% coming into this afternoon from the stripe for Moore. How about his stretch, Brian? November 18th to November 28th for Darrell Moore. Made 16 straight field goals. That's a school record. Now, I'm sure there was some dunks sprinkled in, but that's still pretty good.
Well, and the percentage of the dunks are up there, but he does a better job of being able to finish. See Gibbs knocking down another three. TJ Gibbs is one of those guys that can catch fire, has been a proven scorer. And we talked about the absence of Colson. He has stepped up his game this year, being that secondary scorer for Mike Bray's team.
15 points now for Gibbs, who's made a three in 16 straight games. He's got a couple this half. Wilbekin down low, Moore creating space. Rattled out, foul against Wake. Thompson came up with the rebound, but also committed the foul. His second.
That last time, Darrell Miller, he missed that shot, but I still like the fact that they're able to get him the ball. Early, they couldn't really do it because Notre Dame was in that zone with Notre Dame into a man-to-man. Wake is being able to give him his touches. I like the separation that he's creating for himself.
So it was Gibbs again on the release for three.
Foul on number 13, Brian Crawford.
Crawford has picked up the foul.
Second team foul.
His third for Crawford. So Gibbs to the stripe.
At the line with 3 shots.
Good recognition from the Notre Dame guards to get the ball over to TJ Gibbs. And this is how this team has been able to operate. Is that Matt Farrell has taken on a lot of the responsibility of scoring, but TJ Gibbs, again, has been one of those guys that stepped up his offense. Seemed like in the first 5 minutes of the second half, he's the guy that's gotten it going.
One more free throw for Gibbs. The Irish 75% as a team. Second best in the conference. Keyshawn Woods is coming back in. We saw Woods find a sweet spot on the floor about 15 feet away for 3 jumpers in the first half.
I always thought it interesting, even as a player, the first 5 minutes of the second half, is that you come out and who's lathered up, who's ready, who hasn't taken too much time in the locker room. Both teams right now seem like they're basically coming out and getting their shots. Interesting to see who's able to put their stamp on the beginning of the second half.
Irish taking a 1-point lead. Only one instance in the first half did they lead, 24-23. With about 7 minutes to go in the first half, and now they're getting the ball back.
I thought Wilbekin missed the opportunity to get Thompson. Thompson had a smaller Gibbs on him. Gibbs doing a very good job of being able to front him and not make an easy pass.
Geben! Double-fisted rim rocker. It's an 11-3 Notre Dame run.
Great recognition by Farrell. He had Geben being able to slip. Wait there late. Timeout, Danny Manning. Want to be able to rally the troops.
Timeout on the court. Notre Dame. Geben with another jam, at least 4 or 5 for him in this game. 47-44. Irish with the lead on the road at Wake against Pittsburgh, and then Syracuse and Duke 6:15 the tip on that one. So Miami BC game, Lonnie Walker for Miami made a 3-pointer with 2 seconds left for the 79-78 win, and Marvin Bagley's coming back for Duke after that strained knee issue that he had that kept him out of the lineup.
Obviously, you want him back in the lineup, but interesting to see how that fits in. You see Darrell Moore be able to get it going. But going back to Bagley the third, Duke had been rolling with him out. You move Grayson Allen over to the point. Interesting to see how they implement him back in.
Duke has won 4 in a row as it takes on the Orange. About 2 hours from now on the East Coast. Childress dribbling and a foul.
I mean, you look at these numbers from Marvin Bagley III, 21, 11, 59. I mean, those are not only ACC Player of the Year, but National Player of the Year numbers. And this guy has been phenomenal in what he's been able to do this year. But again, sometimes the team gets in a different rhythm. Interesting to see how he comes back. You see, Brandon Childress continues his hot shooting, being able to knock down that 3. Love the pace that Wake has been playing with. There have been times that they've been able to go inside, and since Notre Dame is going back to the man, seems like they've been able to get easier shots. A nice dish over to Geben. How many dunks has he got? Love the vision by Farrell, but how about the good hands of Geben being able to finish around the rim?
16 points now for Martinas Geben. Well above his season average of 10.8 per game. tough catch in the lane. He and Jogo tie it up. The arrow. It'll go to Wake.
How about you see the nice little dish by Matt Farrell and Geben finishing around the rim. And yesterday you see great finish, nice vision by Matt Farrell. And Geben has been that guy that when talking to Mike Bray said that when he came back from the World Championships where Lithuania won the gold, had a different type of swag about him going to the year, believing more in himself, more confidence, and that's definitely translated in his play this year.
Shot clock widening down for Wilbekin.
And Tom, Wake Forest is one of those teams that's got guys that can knock down the three. Before you saw Childress knock down the three, this last time Wilbekin. And they've got guys that can definitely fill it up.
Second three for Wilbekin, now 193 for his career. Sixth best in school history as the Irish crash the glass with Geben, who's got 18 and a steal.
That last time Geben finishes off, and then Jogo will be able to come in and sneak in and get that steal. A little helter-skelter right now.
Wake Forest by 1. Farrell kicks to Pfluger. Moore and Geben fight for it. It is off of Doral Moore. So when we come back, the Irish will hasten Allen, averaging 22 points, 5 assists, pair of wins against Virginia Tech and Clemson last week. 25 points against the Hokies and 19 points in the win at Clemson. Grayson Allen, our Coyote Tractor Player of the Week. They host Syracuse later today. Great play at the rim defensively. Childress runs it up. Childress.
Good penetration by Childress. She thought Mitchell did a good job of being able to shield his man off as Childress was able to get around the corner. That's one of the things that Wake has done. As you see, Farrell with a miss there. Wake taking advantage of the opportunities to get in transition and get those easier baskets.
Deshaun Woods. Turnaround Woods. He has mastered the mid-range this afternoon. Double digits, 10 points for Woods.
And you have to honor his three-point shot. You see timeout by Mike Bray. Wake Forest on a nice run right now. See, Childress recognizing being able to turn the corner and finish. And then after that, his backcourt mate Woods said, hey, okay, you know what? A little fade away, scorch the nets. I'm feeling it right now.
5 of 7 from the floor for Woods, and he's into double digits with 10 points. Headlines in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Number 1, Virginia. And they are in action today. They're at Pittsburgh. Number 1 in the nation. When will he return? How about today? Marvin Bagley III, as we told you, back into the lineup for the game against Syracuse. Get a little sleep, Brian Oliver. It's going to be a long week at Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, for the tourney.
Well, what I normally do is I get my honey-do list out of the way so I can watch a lot of basketball. My wife is supporting me in that fashion.
How about 14 games on our way to the championship on the ACC network? Brian Oliver, part of a 1990 ACC tournament championship at Georgia Tech under our broadcast colleague Bobby Cremens. Wake has made its last 5 field goal attempts. Woods, shimmy, shake. Came up short. Geben clamps it.
I like Woods being able to go down, realizing he's got Gibbs on him, not being able to finish. But how many times have we seen nice pass with no finish?
Wilbekin gets it. Notre Dame has missed 6 of its last 7 shot attempts. And trailing by 5 to Wake Forest. Deacs have led by as many as 6. Childress challenging Geben. Fight for the loose ball. Childress ended up with it. Wilbekin, long range 3. Oh, net.
Great play by Childress, not panicking then and realize he's got Scotty Wilbekin back out there by himself. Wilbekin knocking down that shot.
Brian, Wilbekin is 3 of 5 from 3-point real estate.
And you see penetration. by Childress getting down there, and then understanding that he's down there in the land of the trees, not panicking, and he's got Mitchell Wilbekin right there. He's saying, hey, give me an opportunity to knock this down. Mitchell Wilbekin has been that guy for Wake that he's gotten hot. We did a game with Wake and Syracuse where Wake was able to come back. Mitchell Wilbekin started the second half hot from behind the arc.
Wake made 5 consecutive three-pointers on 5 straight trips down the court to get back into that game against the Orange, but came up short in that effort at the Dome. 3 from the corner is no good. Jogo, fresh shot clock. Farrell wastes no time with a 3.
You always say the best time to shoot a three-pointer is on the second chance opportunity. Being able to get that offensive rebound, and then if you're the defender, you definitely have to keep Matt Farrell in your sights. He had been quiet in the second half. Right now, that may get him going. As you see, Mitchell Wilbekin saying, hey, you know what? I am feeling it. This senior moment. Give me the rock, baby.
Wilbekin now. He's got 12. Wilbekin, a near steal, try to save it and into the front row. 4 of 6 from 3 for Wilbekin. The Irish and the Deacs going back and forth from about 25 feet away. Money for Wilbekin.
Man, this league, he's been dominant in the second half. I like the fact that he's been able to let the game come to him. He's taken opportunities when they have been presented. Love the fact that he's been aggressive at knocking down shots. You see the 5 of 8, 3 for 4 behind the arc at 13 points. And not mention also, I think that he's been the guy too that has been on Matt Farrell and has not allowed Matt Farrell to have one of those monster games. But that's still to be continued.
Ball back to Wake Forest. 6th turnover for Notre Dame. There's Farrell. Leads the game for the Irish. 13 points for Farrell. Couple of three-pointers on 7 attempts. Deacs, you go back to the first half, they've made 13 of their last 19 field goal attempts. Wilbekin. He's already made 4 three-pointers. To tie a career high for threes made in a single game. Childress, the misfire. Diving save right in front of his own bench by ACCD. How about that effort? Three-pointer. Miss from Brown. Sunday ACCD, the freshman, with that diving save for Wake Forest. Just over 11 minutes to go in regulation. Tom Wormy, Brian Oliver, our outstanding ACC network production crew with you from Winston-Salem. Geben on the block, trying to get free and create space. Got tied up. ACCD aggressive defending for Wake.
Well, Tom, if you're going to win basketball games, it's the 50-50 balls that you have to win. And so you love to see players getting on the floor, because it gives you those opportunities, and that can get your players the fire burning from them. You see right now, with no Matt Farrell on the floor. Interesting to see where does Notre Dame go to get a basket right now.
Is it Gibbs on the runner? It is.
Nice runner by Gibbs. Before, you see he's being able to get to the basket, knocking down threes early to set up that drive.
20 points now for Gibbs, Brian. The 9th time this season he's gone for 20 points or more for the Irish. Wide open, Wilbekin, the layup.
Nice UCLA cut by Mitchell Wilbekin. Crawford having his head up. And that's one of the things in the second half that Wake has been able to do. They've been able to spread Notre Dame out, get them with the penetration and making the extra pass.
14 points now for Wilbekin. 11 of those in the second half. And 3 threes in the second half also for Wilbekin. Little short jumper. Geben puts some touch on that one. He's up to 20 points for the Irish.
Geben has been huge for Notre Dame all day. We talked about his dunks around the rim, but I thought he's had a very efficient game right now. It's going to come down to who can get stops, because both teams have been able to execute in the last few moments.
Double-double for Geben, 20 points and 11 rebounds. 10 of 14 shooting. He's got another rebound. Gibbs runs it up. Jogo was cut off. Geben trails the play, 16 feet away. Got his own miss. And then Mitchell ran into Geben. Number 2 in white.
We talked about Wake and the fact that they've been able to run their offense. You see right now, Mitchell Wilbekin being able to get that UCLA screen and being able to get that backdoor basket. Great recognition and being able to run your offense. You see Mitchell Wilbekin hearing it from the crowd. He comes out for a quick rest. 14 points, 4 of 6 from behind the arc, and he's that guy that we talked about that can catch fire really fast.
The senior from Gainesville, Florida, has a seat. Gibbs into the lane, shovels it off, and the layup is good. Austin Torres.
Nice dish by Gibbs over to Torres. Torres is that guy that is the high-energy guy. Mike Brady putting him in there for defensive purposes and be able to lock down on defense and then get rebounds.
First basket of the game for Austin Torres. Crawford. 6 points for Crawford.
Nice setup by Brandon Childers, being able to break down the defense, force the collapse, getting it out to Brian Crawford. You know, he's a guy that can score, putting his head down, being able to finish the play.
Crawford had 14 points, a team high in the win at Pittsburgh on Wednesday, but missed all 3 of his 3-point shot attempts. Shot clock is at 8 for the Irish and Pfluger. Gibbs lets it fly. Tapped out to Crawford. Crawford had eyes for the rim. Pfluger got in the way. Shawnee Brown stepping into a 3.
Guard plays from Wake Forest has been able to open it up for the Demon Deacons. Shawnee Brown being able to knock that down. Timeout by Mike Gray. Demon Deacons off to a roll.
12 points for Shawnee Brown. Boards. He's got the double-double. Childress with 13 for Wake Forest. Wilbekin's got 14. 4 made threes for Wilbekin. And Wake has made 10 of its last 15 field goals. The Irish with the basketball. Matt Farrell back into the game. Trying to go backdoor on the cut, and Geben fed him.
Matt Farrell.
Nice play by Farrell, being able to go backdoor. That was a set play. I saw them working on that yesterday. How about Geben? I'm really impressed with his skill set. You know, a guy that big that not only can pass the ball, can go out and shoot too. But this afternoon, it's been all Wake, and it's been the Wake guards that have created a lot of havoc for Notre Dame.
Shot clock is at 5. Crawford misses. With those numbers today for Geben, his 5th double-double of the season. Gibbs early in the shot clock. The board up and good. Notre Dame working that glass. John Mooney, his first 2.
And Mooney is a guy that we haven't talked about a lot. Normally, he's a guy that spaces the floor for Notre Dame. This has been a game of runs right now, and as of late, it's been all Wake.
Mooney is a sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Had 10 points in the loss Monday against Miami at home for the Irish. Shot clock deep again. It's down to 6 for Woods. Lets it go just inside the arc. Geben's got another board.
There's been 2 possessions that Notre Dame has forced Wake into contested jump shots. And if you're Wake Forest, how they were able to get those points early was by penetration and swinging the ball. Last 2 were contested shots.
Mooney driving and getting fouled, so he's going to the free throw line.
The foul is on number 23.
First on Shawnee Brown.
His first 6th team foul.
So if you're Wake, you have to do a better job of being able to contain the bigs. Notre Dame trying to crawl into this. The best way to do that is play good defense.
The ACC mobile app is free and covers all 15 teams and every ACC sport. Right now, users have a chance to win Outback for a year. Look for a banner in the app for your chance to enter to win. More details available at the ACC.com/mobile app.
I've always thought it fascinating when you see the crowd and some of the signs that they have up. Is that a Chick-fil-A sandwich?
I think I see Betty White in the crowd and Tyrone Muggsy Bogues. Mooney's coming out after the free throws. Pfluger in there. So it was 69-60, Brian, and now Notre Dame has scored the last 5.
So, and here's the thing, that for Wake Forest, the way they got that lead is that they were getting penetration, they were moving the ball. And then now, I think the last 2 possessions, they've had the contested shots. If you're Notre Dame, you want to force those contested shots because it gives you an opportunity to be able to get the deflection, and you got a guy like Matt Farrell that can create another opportunity for points.
Geben is having an outstanding day as he anticipated that pass and deflected it away. Farrell, tight crossover. Pfluger, catch and release. 3-pointer for Pfluger.
Mike Bray over there cheering his guys on. And this has been a game of back and forth.
How about the 8-0 run by the Irish to make it a 1-point game? Sarr. Moore and Geben and Pfluger got it. Chance for the Irish to take the lead. Gibbs. Farrell. Knocked away from Farrell. Gibbs pass in tight quarters, taken back. Childress lines up the 3. Jogo pulls it in.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. I thought that Matt Farrell missed. He had an opportunity for a 3, opted to go inside, and when you go in toward around Moore, finishing to your left is a little bit more difficult shot. Thought he missed that opportunity to take that 3.
Farrell, Geben, the pull-up. Rebound for Moore.
I thought Sarr did a really good job of rotation because normally that pick and roll where Geben is slipping it, there's no one there. That last time Olivier Sarr there to contest that shot, not giving Geben the open shot.
Wake has not scored since the 8:08 mark. Childress was driving. Fouls on Pfluger. Our performance of the game is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. That is a robust stat line from Martinas Geben.
And Geben has been that guy. You see 10 for 15, 20 points, 14 rebounds. And I think that when Notre Dame was struggling to score early, he was the guy that was following the ball, getting those little putbacks, nice little jump hooks. And I think that he's given them an opportunity to be back in this game right now with less than 4 minutes to go and play.
So now Pfluger has 4 personals for the Irish. 1-point Wake lead with the shot clock down to 5. Childress from the corner in front of his own bench. Sarr fighting for the board. Jogo comes away with it.
Wake Forest as of late going a little cold. They're still getting the looks that they want, like the penetration by Woods over to Childress for that jump shot.
Farrell wants command of the basketball. Moore comes way out on Farrell. Pfluger gets it back to Farrell. It's a 3.
Nice pass by Pfluger. Not a jump shooter, being able to get and draw the defense. Getting the ball out to Farrell. This we talked about. This is a game of runs right now. Notre Dame up by 2.
Farrell not only gives the Irish the lead, but has now gone over the 1,000-point threshold in his career. He's got 1,002 in an Irish uniform after that most recent 3.
Penetration, you see, get the ball to your shooter. Matt Farrell being able to knock it out for the Irish. Key for them is that 49 of their 69 points have been their guards from Woods, Childress, Wilbekin, and Crawford. And then obviously for Notre Dame, we talked about Geben being the guy, but it's also Matt Farrell as of late being able to strike fire.
Couple of free throws from Keyshawn Woods. First point since the Irish called the timeout with 7:55 to go in this half, the 7:55 mark, and they had outscored Wake Forest 11-0.
Did we not mention in the beginning of the broadcast that as you get towards the end of their regular season, teams are trying to step it up a little bit?
Farrell, mid-air adjustment, not good enough. Tied at 71. Wake with the ball and 2:23 and counting to go in regulation. Woods in traffic. Crawford.
Good defensive stop by Notre Dame. If you're Notre Dame, you want to get some kind of point guard pin down. Well, actually, we'll go inside to Geben if you got it.
Geben trying to back his way in. Sarr blocked it. Controlled it out of bounds. Deflected off of Pfluger. Wake Forest basketball. How about the defense from Olivier Sarr?
Sarr's been that guy that's come up with those big plays with a couple of blocks earlier on. He is that guy that makes the smaller defensive plays that Danny Manning needs.
Wake Forest 4-12 in conference play. 3-5 against ACC opponents here at Joel Coliseum this season. Coming off that win Wednesday at Pittsburgh, trying to back it up against the Irish here at home. And knotted up at 71. We've been tied 6 times. The lead has changed hands 5 times in the game. Still tied after the Shawnee Brown miss. Matt Farrell walks it up. Gone over 1,000 points in his Irish career this afternoon for Farrell with 18 points. Pfluger fenced in on the baseline. Geben turns around. Did not realize how wide open he was.
Yeah, I don't think he realized. I think he was expecting Sarr the last time. Sarr was that guy, rotation. Danny Manning calling a timeout. Able to get a good play.
Inside of a minute to go and tied up at 71 as Wake Forest is taking timeout. Coming up next Thursday, 8 Eastern. Some will see NC State in Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech. Others get the #1 team in the nation, Virginia and River City, to take on Louisville, which scored a big win on the road in Blacksburg today. For the ACC Network game schedule, visit ACCNetwork.tv, and remember that select ACC Network games stream live for free on the official ACC mobile app. Takes us right to the nation's top 25, brought to you by the Honda dealers of the Carolinas.
How about Virginia in the year that they've had? Tony Bennett has been a guy that has definitely always had a team that's really good defensively, but this year's team better offensively, and they are a team that they're one of my picks to go to the Final Four. Can't leave out Duke and North Carolina there, but I think Clemson is the team that was definitely a big surprise. How about Florida State being able to climb back in at number 25 and the job that Leonard Hamilton's done with that group?
56.3 seconds to go. Wake Forest, 0 field goals in the last 7 minutes and 12 seconds. They have missed their last 7 shots. Shot clock at 10 for the Deacs. Crawford's pass is out of bounds. Notre Dame basketball.
And see, this is what I have is that, coming out of the timeout, he was looking to pass. I thought that he had an opportunity to be able to turn the corner. And you see right now, being able to just automatically throwing that pass, Joe goes there, last touched off of Woods. And for Crawford, he's that guy that I thought that shot clock going down, he would give an opportunity to go and penetrate.
Brian Crawford, just 6 points today for Wake. The crowd rises, 27 seconds to go. About a 6 or 7 second differential shot to game, and Farrell is going to take a timeout. So here's how it looks in the ACC. Brian just mentioned Virginia. Its only loss at home against Virginia Tech in conference play. Duke against Syracuse. That's coming up later today, just past 6. North Carolina, Clemson, they're all trying to get those top 4 spots. Virginia has solidified it. But if you can get that double bye at the tournament, you don't have to play the first couple of days. if you're Notre Dame and Wake, you're looking at playing that first day in Brooklyn and trying to make your way all the way to Saturday. Very difficult task.
Well, but the thing that I got my eye on is that second group right there, 5 through 9. And you want to finish out strong because, again, seeding and who you play. You talk about you don't want to be that group that's playing the first group. But then you've got that 10 through 15 with Syracuse down to Pitt. You definitely have to play that first round, and it makes it a lot harder when you're talking about starting that journey. But then again, you're in the ACC. Anything can happen.
Duke went 4 straight victories last year to win it in Brooklyn, and Martinas Geben is having a monster day for the Irish.
And he's been strong from beginning to the end. Talk about how he's be able to establish himself, and he's basically chased a lot of these shots down, being able to finish around the rim. Love the fact that he's been efficient. He's been a high-octane guy, being able to finish and being aggressive. I think right now with this last play, if you're Mike Brey, you've got something definitely on a ball screen with Matt Farrell. Somehow you involve Geben in there because he's being the guy with those numbers, 10 of 18, 20 points. You want him being able to crash the boards as well. Let's not forget also T.J. Gibbs and the fact that he was the guy that can knock down shots.
5th double-double of the season and career for Martinas Geben, the senior from Lithuania. 24.5 seconds to go. Farrell holds for the Irish. 18 points in the game for Matt Farrell. Farrell lets go with a 3 and makes it. Now the clock may have been frozen after the Farrell shot. He made the 3 with the shot clock running down. Take a look at the shot clock. It's down to 2 for Farrell, who just does get it away.
How about that shot by Matt Farrell? Contested.
I mean, Bryant 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point line. And 21 points now for Farrell. 4 made threes, none bigger than that one.
Well, how about the shot? And I think the refs are talking about the clock, because I think once he hit that shot, it showed 5.9. Wake inbounded, dribbled for a while, and it's still showing 5.9. How clutch was that shot?
Matt Farrell, the senior, did it all by himself at the end of that possession. And now the clock reads 5.9. Jamie Luckey, Ray Styons, and A.J. Desai need to sort this out. Make sure we've got the appropriate amount of time on the clock. As Brian mentioned, did not start to roll once Wake put it back in play after the made 3 by Farrell.
So I'm going to put my coaching hat on here. If I'm Mike Brey, I tell my guys that a 3 ties us, a 2 does nothing for us. Obviously, we don't want to foul at all. And if I look at the lineup from Wake, and if I see that they've got Olivia Starr there, and I tell my big that I'm going to double who's ever got the ball. And so right now, the guys that are dangerous are obviously Woods and Wilbekin. Can't discount Childress there. And then Crawford. I forced Wake into shooting a contested 2-point shot and not give up an open 3. I guess that's a lot easier said than done, too.
This would be the 2nd straight road win in ACC play if Notre Dame can hang on to this one.
So if you see as the play develops, you see the shot that goes up by Farrell, 5.9, and then Wake inbounds it. And they take a couple of dribbles, and I would imagine that that's got to at least be 2 seconds off.
And you heard the officials whistle after the inbounds. They noticed that the clock was not moving. So that's why they whistled the play dead prior to the attempt by Woods. Somewhat of an unfortunate break for Wake that they couldn't continue the inbounds, and then the trip down the court as Farrell makes it with 1 second on the shot clock, and then it runs out. Just barely did beat the shot clock with the attempt by Matt Farrell. So again, the officials are reviewing the situation. What a game this has been. Back and forth between these two teams.
It appeared that Wake was pulling away, Brian. Midway in this half, they had a 9-point lead, but Notre Dame stormed back with 11 straight points. So now they have removed some time from the clock.
It is down to 3.6 seconds when that whistle blew after Wake had inbounded it. Now Wake is taking a timeout. Now Notre Dame also only has 5 team fouls. Wake as a team, Brian, 9 of 26 from three-point distance.
And one of the reasons they were able to get that early lead is being able to knock down threes in the second half. And it's been a combination of multiple players. You see Mitchell Wilbekin being one of the guys that we talked about knocking it down, and then you had Keyshawn Woods, and then obviously Wilbekin again. But they've got guys that can knock down threes, and we talked about how they were able to get that lead. It was their guard play that opened it up. And if you're Danny Manning, you want to draw up a really good play because you know that either it's a quick penetration and someone stepping into a three. But I'm also one of those guys about talking about possibly fouling early.
All right, Brian, it's the granddaddy of all tournaments, the New York Life ACC tournament, Brooklyn, 10 days away. What great memories we have from the last 64 years. 6 different champs over the last 6 years. Be sure to mark your calendars. The ACC Network coverage starts Tuesday, March 6th at noon, all the way to the championship game, prime time on a Saturday night. For the ACC Network game schedule, visit ACCNetwork.tv. And remember, all games stream live for free on the official ACC mobile app. Duke, the defending champs, they beat this Notre Dame program in the title game a season ago in Brooklyn. All right, neither team has a timeout. Notre Dame by 3. Half-court inbounds, 3.6 on the clock. Childress tried to bounce it off of Geben, and then he fouled him immediately. Again, he did not have a timeout to call. It appeared he tried to ricochet the ball off of Geben and out of bounds.
Well, you see Childress having a problem with the length of Geben, trying to ricochet off of him. And I've always thought that if you're going to throw the ball off your man, you go low. That last time he went for the midsection, great instincts by Geben to be able to catch that ball.
Martinas Geben at the free throw line. His first free throw of the evening makes it a 4-point game. So the count was running down on Childress. Either tried to bounce it off of Geben or hit a teammate. Either way, Geben able to intercept the pass, fouled into the line. And Geben has tied his career high this afternoon. 22 points. Wilbekin for 3. Would not have mattered either way. 76-71. Notre Dame, what a performance on the road, Brian Oliver.
Big win by Notre Dame. Big shot by Matt Farrell.